Good morning, cuties and comrades. Today is another beautiful day in history, and it's a great day to be critical. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I am Sarah Mishnick, your critical thinking coach. And you might say to yourself, wait, I'm already a critical thinker. And absolutely, you're correct. But how do you know? What are you engaging in when you're critically thinking? Well, schools didn't exactly teach us about that. So I'm going to be here to help you fill in those gaps and bring the colors of critical to your life. So, what I have over here is 5 elements of critical thinking that I've been studying and I want to share with you guys because we really did not learn about it in school and we kind of need these critical skills in life today. So, what we're going to be doing is each day of the week, I'm going to be talking about a different critical dimension or critical color, as I like to say, of what it means to be a critical thinker. And it isn't just for kids, this is for adults too, especially since we missed out on this as kids in school. What a shame. So, we're going to go through these 5 elements every week. Today's Monday, so we're going to be talking about intentionality. That's a really, really important part of being a critical thinker. Intention. So, how are we going to learn about what intentionality means and all the other dimensions that we'll get to later? Well, we are going to be looking at knowledge of the people, by the people, and for the people. So, what I've done is I've collected wisdom from people of all cultures and all generations who have been critical thinkers throughout time and across the world. And even though the critical tradition has been grounded in Western philosophy, so there are a lot of white guys, but don't worry, I'll be bringing in a lot of other people and a lot of other thinkers too, but there is a lot of those, which is fine. We're happy to accept white men in this group, of course, but we also want to bring in different critical thinkers because just because they were the ones who started this tradition and founded it doesn't mean that they're the only ones who were ever critical thinkers. That is absurd. Everyone has been a critical thinker. We just need to know how. And the critical tradition, which began in the Frankfurt School in Germany, which we'll talk more about later, that has been a Western tradition. But I'm going to need your help to make the knowledge of the people, by the people, and for the people more diverse and more multifaceted with lots of different voices. So today, yes, I might pull a card with classic white philosophers with penises. But don't worry, there's plenty of others, and I want your help. Who else has talked about intentionality that I haven't learned about yet? I would love to know. So you can share those below. But maybe, who knows what we'll get in these cards? We'll find out. So here we go. We're going to drop it in to my handy dandy knowledge of the people, by the people, for the people. Give it a good shake. Reach in and see what we get. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up for you to read first. Oh, yes! Awesome. We're going to be starting with Audrey Lorde. See, I told you it isn't all white men. Here we have an amazing Black queer woman who knew what it meant to be a critical thinker. So let's go ahead and read this quote. We learn more and more to cherish our feelings, to respect those hidden sources of power from where true knowledge and therefore lasting action comes. Audre Lorde. Okay, so this is a critical part of intentionality, and actually it's been ignored for a really long time. This Audre Lorde was a feminist theorist, among many other things. And feminist wisdom is actually super critical because historically, even though the Western tradition, which was patriarchal and male, has it founded the Enlightenment, kind of. There were a lot of male voices in that movement of the Enlightenment. They prioritized rationality over all other types of knowing. Reason became the ultimate form of knowledge. And it actually isn't the only form of knowledge that there is. And that's Audrey Lorde had a lot to say about that. So what she's talking about here is feelings and experience. So she says the more we learn to cherish our feelings, so really begin to understand them. And I talk a lot, as you'll find out, about reverence and what that really means. And so when we learn how to revere and cherish our feelings, we're actually going to have a deeper kind of knowledge and respect those hidden sources of power. Okay, I love this. So, what does it mean to be intentional? In us, we have the power to put our intention or our focus on certain things. We have the freedom to put our intent toward different things. And this is a great power. It is a great power. And our feelings are an important part of how we navigate the world and where we choose to put our intentions. Our feelings drive our intentions many times. Reason, it's been said, comes second to the passions. I believe that was David Hume, a white man, said that reason has always been second to the passions. And Audre Lorde proves it by saying that this is where true knowledge and, the most important part, lasting action comes from. So, what we need to do to learn to be more intentional and to be better critical thinkers is to cherish our feelings, get to know them, give them names. What do we do when we cherish things? We hold them close. We get to know all sides of them, all their layers, all their complexity, all their depth. And when we do that and we get to develop and cultivate a deeper relationship with our feelings, we're going to understand more of how humans have developed knowledge throughout time. We have always been driven by our feelings since the very first people walked on this planet. They felt things, and feelings are powerful, and they draw us towards different things. They pull our intentions different ways. And every time we're pulled, our intention is pulled in different ways, and we sit with something because we have a strong feeling about it, whether it be passion or curiosity or hatred or, oh gosh, what else? Curiosity. Did I say that? I forgot. Bit of a goldfish brain. Anyway, whatever feeling we sit with, the more we can understand how that feeling actually affects the way we receive knowledge, it's going to help us better access different areas of wisdom in the world. So not only will we understand where knowledge kind of comes from, we're first pulled by our feelings. And that's why maybe school wasn't like super fun, is because there wasn't much feeling involved, and maybe school and education needed a bit more heart. Maybe. That's a little crazy. A little more love, a little more compassion, a little more care, right? These things matter and actually really shape how we take in knowledge. If we just are doing rote memorization and learning with no humanity behind it, how much are we really going to learn? We need to be excited and passionate about things and curious, as I said earlier. I remember it this time. So it's really important to remember that feelings, and I have notes on the back. Full disclosure, gotta have my notes. Any good teacher is going to be prepared with the lesson plan. And so the general theme of this one is sentiment as knowledge. So sentiment I really like because it's about the senses, right? So we feel with our senses, with touch, with taste, with smell. These things all bring about things we literally feel in the world. But then also we have sentiment means senses, but also actual feelings like guilt and despair and joy and love, right? So it means both of those things. And we learn through guilt, we learn through joy, we learn through taste, we learn through touch, we learn through all those things. So sentiment is knowledge. And feminist scholars like Audrey Lord have always known that. That's always been a part, and it hasn't always been a part of the way we've talked about knowledge in the West. As I said, there's a reason I brought up the fact that this has been a pretty narrow tradition for a really, really long time. And it needs to be expanded to include greater masses of people, including Black, queer women of color, who have a lot of incredible wisdom to share. Okay, so I think we can wrap up our first critical thinking session. So remember, as you are out there today experiencing the world and feeling a lot of things, you're going to feel a lot of things today. I have no doubt. So as you go about your day feeling things, feel them deeply, because be aware that your feelings can teach you things. You can learn a lot from what you feel. Don't disregard, don't discount your emotions, your senses. This is a critical part of being a human and learning to be a better critical thinker. You will become more effective at harnessing your intelligence if you learn how to harness your feelings. I think that's it for today, y'all. I will see you tomorrow. We will be talking about essential things on an Essential Tuesday. How do we know that we're focusing on what really matters? How do we know that we're paying attention to what is indispensable to human life? Do we know that we're doing that? How do you know that you're focusing on what's important? Because it really stinks when you're focusing on shallow stuff. So tomorrow we'll be talking about essentials and how you can bring essentials into your critical thinking. But today was about intentionality. So remember, be intentional out there today and have a colorfully critical day. I'll see you tomorrow.